A return to the CONCACAF Champions League on Tuesday night. Toronto FC versus Santos Laguna, the second game in the Group 1 for both teams. Both of them scoring 5 goals against Pura Aguila in the first go, and Santos winning their most recent game 5-0 over Aguila. Toronto, of course, won 5-1 here at BMO Field. And it's going to be a great contest because the teams have a bit of familiarity with each other. Toronto, of course, staying with Santos for 135 minutes, but unfortunately the last 45 was a bit of a letdown in the semifinals of the Champions League in the last edition.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that for you to be the stats man as far as how many minutes they played where they didn't concede a goal, but we all know what happened when they went to Mexico. That's a totally different story. So for them, the objective tonight is to get a result because they know how difficult it's going to be in Mexico. Yes, it's a totally different team, not too many familiar faces that know the opposition. There's a couple guys on Santos that some players should be aware of, like Gomez, the forward, who's just somebody you have to keep an eye on at all times. But it's going to be a tough competition for them. Let's hope that they can forget what happened last year and just kind of live in the moment and go out there and try to get something salvaged out of this year.
Well, scoring goals doesn't seem to be a problem in this fixture. It was 1-1 here at BMO Field in the first leg, and then, of course, that big game with 4 first-half goals in Torreon. Now, there's a lot of dangerous attacking players on the Santos Laguna team. Oribe Peralta, who was the Mexican hero in the Olympics. Of course, Darwin Quintero, who's scoring goals for fun right now, scored a hat-trick in the Aguila game. And, of course, Hercules, whom you mentioned. What can Toronto really do to contain these guys? Is it a similar approach they'll take that they did against Houston?
There's probably a lot of players who go and look at some footage of who their opposition is going to be, look at the strikers, know what kind of movements they like to make. I like the element of surprise. I like to adapt in the game and adjust to whoever I'm up against. And I think for Toronto, that's what they're going to have to do because there's not too much you can find out about Santos. They're only 7 games into their season. Everything's still new to them. They're trying to get accustomed to themselves as well, too. But you can rest assured that their 2 forwards are dangerous strikers. One coming out of the Olympics who's lethal in front of the net, winning the World Cup or the Olympics with Mexico. So you know how dangerous, and hopefully they caught a couple glimpses of what kind of player he is. You just got to go out there, and I think, I hate saying it, they have to really focus on what they do right and work on your positives. You look at their last game against Houston, set pieces, corner kicks. Houston had a tough time, and I like that they were able to get accustomed and grow off their mistakes. And this is what they're going to have to do against Santos because they're a very technical team. And for Toronto, the pace is going to be a lot quicker, so they're going to have to focus on the things that they could do well and just become clinical in front of the net.
Well, that is the key. Santos being very technical, they'll play the ball on the ground a lot too. It's a smaller team than Toronto, so anything that's coming over the air, Toronto should be able to handle. So watch for that game on Sportsnet 1, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live from BMO Field. There will be a preview show on Gold TV Canada featuring Adrian right here, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So 7:30 Goal, 8 p.m. Sportsnet 1, and on Twitter, TFC Live, #TFC Live to join the conversation. We'll see you soon.